Ball again. My name is Afolabi. I'm with Mustafa and Kule Williams. We're going to be previewing the big game on Sunday between Manchester United and Chelsea. You guys are welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. So this will be Venice. Venice Roy is still the interim, right? Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yes.
But it's going to be a very exciting game. So let's just jump into it because you guys are Manchester United specialists. I'm just sort of like I'm player FC. You guys are Man UFC. So start us off Kunle, with your thoughts, your general thoughts, anywhere you want to start about this game. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So there's a general when we had Ollie the Wally at the wheel and he had to leave.
Ollie the
Ollie the
Willy.
Wally.
Ollie the Willy wanker.
Yes. And when he left, his assistant manager, Carrick, was there for a couple of games, and he was an old player, and we're like, oh, Carrick won 2 games on the bounce back. Bring Carrick back. And that caused confusion. Ollie shouldn't have stayed as long as he did. But you see, when your old players do well, we become nostalgic and we don't think carefully. And we're like, oh, give him a chance. Let him. I thank God that we got Amorim in and we made it clear before, because Van Nistelrooy could win all the remaining games before Amorim comes in. But he's not going to sustain it. Eventually, they're going to start doing nonsense. We could beat Chelsea 4-0 on the weekend, and then if Van Nistelrooy stays, he can disgrace us later and we won't do anything under him. Because he basically plays Ten Hag's game, or he plays under Ten Hag. So he's not going to drift from that. But fans, we get carried away. Oh, Van Nistelrooy was a great player. And then we start doing nonsense again. So I am very happy that we got Amorim. We got rid of a good coach and got rid of another good coach. We moved sideways. We've not moved upwards. I think that if Ten Hag had stayed, we would have done better. We would have eventually gone to that place we want to. But the players down tools. The players decided to sack the coach. Bruno has sacked like 3 coaches. Yeah, that's why I don't like Play FC, because Play FC can sack coaches. And look at Casemiro. Yeah. Casemiro's going to say, "Oh yeah, because of what Ten Hag was telling me to do, that was why I was rubbish, and now I decided to play like Rivaldo." Because it's a load of nonsense.
Although, also, you say I'm Play FC. I also like football movements. I'm a fan of Spain right now and Barcelona because of their youth movement.
Nothing wrong with Play FC.
Yeah, no, what I'm saying is that but Barcelona and Spain and those guys have brought some beautiful football back to the world, and they're playing fantastic. So it's Play FC, but it's also Movement FC.
I decided in your honor, because you've been so kind.
Gato Negro.
So I'm not doing Racolis. I'm having a fancy glass of wine.
I have wine too, but I feel like we need to join us. Okay, but let's jump to what you're saying is interesting. So, what I think for Manchester United is that fans need to just stay balanced and look at the big picture. They're getting rid of they've gotten rid of Ten Hag, and they're going to bring in the guy from Portugal. What's his name again?
Amorim. We got rid of a good coach because we didn't have patience, and we got another good coach.
So what I'm saying is that they should just relax and look at the big picture. One thing I would like him to do, though, he is going to have to sack some of the players. He may bring in, though, Falabi, will he bring in Victor Gyökeres from Sweden, who also Barcelona is trying to get, who I think is a perfect striker for Man U.
Yeah, they are saying that.
And Gyökeres plays in the Portuguese league.
Yeah, he's played under him, and he has helped to develop after bringing him from Coventry.
So who is Amorim coaching before he came here? Who is he coaching?
Sporting Lisbon.
Sporting Lisbon.
And that's that's not the same as the team what team does Gyökeres play for? Sporting CP.
The same team, the same Sporting Lisbon.
Oh yeah. So I'm just saying, hopefully he'll bring in that guy, because that guy is very good, and he's a pure number 9, and he's powerful like Haaland, and he also plays defense. What do you think, Afolabi? Yeah.
That's exactly what I was saying, that he brought him in from Coventry, and he has helped him to develop a lot. So people are already saying that if there's any player who's going to bring him from Sporting Lisbon, it's going to be Victor Gyökeres. He's physical. He has all the attributes of a number 9.
Yeah, I agree.
But you see, my problem with Man United is that Højlund has had fewer chances than any other striker in the top half of the league.
That's true, because Højlund is just as good as. Would you say Højlund is as good as Gyökeres? Or
our problem is not the striker. Our problem is creating chances for the striker. So you can get, even if we had Ronaldo, and we did have Ronaldo, it doesn't matter who the striker is. If you had Haaland, and we had the chances that were being created, we say Haaland is a rubbish player, and then he'll go somewhere. Our problem is not the striker. Our problem is creating chances for the strikers. They're not
I agree. What do you think, Falabi? I think I agree with what he's saying. Yeah.
Yes, I agree with you, Kule, but if you look at the West Ham game, it will be difficult to argue that the chances were not enough. We had a of chances,
Did Hoyland play?
Many
Did he play against
chances
West Ham?
missed.
many chances.
But it's not
And
every
yeah,
time we
but
have many chances that we
Hoyland
miss. That was
played.
just the players being the players not
They were really
focusing on what they're doing.
But generally speaking, it's not been the striker's fault. And one of the reasons why I think the players will fight on Sunday is because Ten Hag has gone now. Nobody can hide under Ten Hag. I don't think he
Yeah.
should have been sacked so soon. But now the players
Yeah.
have to play for their futures. They know their new manager. They have not taken the job yet, but they want to prove they're good enough for his team. So I'm going to see whoever makes the starting 11 for Nistelrooy is going to want to fight. So, and I feel that's going to help the team.
We should have beaten West Ham by the same margin.
Can I ask you guys, did Hoyland play the last
The
game?
difference
Hoyland
was
didn't
what
play.
we did in the first half.
That was his first game.
Chances.
That was his first game. Yeah.
No, he's
Yeah.
played before that.
And then there's going to be a lot of silly fans saying, "Oh, we want to keep Van Nistelrooy." I'm happy that we got Amorim early, so we stopped any of that nonsense straight up right at the beginning, because that's nonsense.
And Van Nistelrooy wouldn't want to deviate too much from Erik ten Hag's tactics. You know,
Yeah.
some show of loyalty, because it was
Also, Fabi, let me ask you: do you think that
Same with
Gyökeres is
Carrick
better
and
than
Oli.
Hoyland or about the
Carrick
equal?
played Oli's team.
I think Gyökeres may be
games.
more physical than Haaland, right? Yeah.
Gyökeres is more consistent. If you look at his numbers, Hoyland is just developing. I think he's still in the developmental phase of his game.
Okay.
So continue. What were you saying, Kule? Yeah.
Yeah. The question is, will there be a bounce back against Chelsea? Because the bounce back has started with Van Nistelrooy and all that nonsense. And you see, I'm so happy that Van Nistelrooy knows he's going. So he's not playing players and resting them thinking, I've got Carabao Cup upper week, I've got UEFA Cup upper week. No, he's just going to play the best team he can to try and win a game and look good. He doesn't care. He doesn't have a long-term strategy.
So he's good for like the short term.
So all these things are playing under Van Nistelrooy, they're actually messy, because even if we win them, he's not actually preparing for the next game. He just wants to impress Amorim, so that Amorim lets him stay on. And also for the fans to have some sympathy with him, because he's an old player.
But at least it will stop the bleeding.
The lunatics run the asylum. The lunatics are running the asylum in Manchester United.
Another thing is that between now and when the new coach takes over, if Van Nistelrooy does well, he could enhance his CV for a better job elsewhere, not necessarily
elsewhere.
Yes.
But I think what Kule is saying is that Van Nistelrooy will win in the short term, but he's not planning for the long run. Yeah.
Sure.
So he'll win games. He'll win games in the short term. Is that what you're saying, Kule? Yeah.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Although Chelsea can deal with them all, Chelsea can expose Van Nistelrooy, because Van Nistelrooy, we're all saying Van Nistelrooy was the assistant coach. What people don't know is the assistant coach is the one that takes training. And anybody that has gone for football training or rugby training on a Saturday afternoon knows that you're going to play according to what the person on the field is telling you to do, because we've all played the game. So Van Nistelrooy is actually responsible for Ten Hag's departure. Ten Hag has different role to play as a chief coach. So Van Nistelrooy is going to basically play Ten Hag football. Ten Hag has got some excellent players. But Ten Hag was sacked before he even got to play Lenny Yoro. He bought Lenny Yoro and he got sacked before. That is insane. No patience.
That is what I'm saying.
Who did Euro play for?
He's a French under-21 player.
Okay. Yeah, I think we talked about it.
Patience. Look at Gravenberg. Gravenberg was rubbish in his first season.
Kule, I agree with you.
You can't do that.
Kule, I agree with you.
Look at Amrabat. Amrabat should have been a stalwart.
Yes. And it's one of the reasons I said the players are going to want to fight, because there's no Ten Hag to hide behind now. He's gone. The story was he was the problem, but I feel he was sacked prematurely. But right now, they're going to have to pay for their futures, because every player that starts on Sunday would want to prove to the new coach that they're good enough for his team. And if you look at Van Nistelrooy, he wouldn't want to tweak Ten Hag's system to show solidarity. At least it was Ten Hag who recommended that he'd come to Man United and be his assistant. So it's going to be Ten Hag's team, but I expect the players to fight. and try and win that game.
Let me ask you a question. So is
Euro
Euro still injured?
Man United needs to stop living in the shadow of Alex Ferguson. They need to stop it right now, because we're going to end up like Liverpool for 30 years. Oh, we're Liverpool. Now we're doing it. Oh, we're Manchester United. We can't do that.
Hold that thought. Is Euro injured?
Euro is not back yet, but he has started ball work on the field. He has left.
But he's injured. Yeah, that's the problem.
He's still injured. Yes, he's
Sorry.
still injured.
Yeah. Okay.
He's still injured.
Yeah, we need to calm down. I mean, it's unfortunate. Ten Hag actually, with patience, could have done it. Amorim, fortunately, is a decent coach. So what some people are going to say, if Amorim has some success, they're going to say, oh, yeah, it was a good idea to get rid of Ten Hag. It wasn't. Even if Amorim is successful, it wasn't a good idea to get rid of Ten Hag.
No, I think they just need to change their system. They need to come up with a defined system. Yeah. And they needed to have given
stuck with him and let him
But the problem
build.
is that Ten Hag wasted a lot of games earlier this year with Maguire and Rashford.
Did he buy Maguire? Did he buy Rashford? Do they fit into his system? The players that don't work for him aren't his players.
But what I'm saying, he should have come up with a different lineup. Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah.
He should have been given a chance to have his own squad and to play the way he wants. And some of the players, like Ugarte, as good a player as he is, he wasn't the player that Ten Hag wanted. Ten Hag felt that he had Amrabat. He could have used that money for Ugarte elsewhere. He wanted to keep Amrabat. Amrabat was blocked by other people in Manchester United. Amrabat was there. He was able to.
So they didn't allow him to play his own football. Yeah.
Yes. So I'm not saying that Ugarte is still a good player. I don't have a problem with Ugarte. I'm not saying that therefore we're going to do badly because you got Ugarte. The team.
Okay, but Kule, can I say something? So what I think you're saying is Ugarte is a good player, but you have to let Ten Hag express himself and choose the players he wants so he can feel comfortable as So for example, whatever Ten Hag's vision is, it may not be something where he really needed Ugarte. So you need to let him do his thing, whether you agree or not.
And look what they've done to Xerxes. If Xerxes was at Brighton,
I was about to say, where is Xerxes now?
By now.
Because
at Brighton, they'd have said, have fun, enjoy your football. But as Manchester United, Man United, why haven't you scored 3 hat-tricks already? Oh, get rid of him. He's rubbish. And he's just a kid. He's going to mess him up.
And Xerxes was doing well. He was positioning himself well. He scored 1 or 2 goals early.
He scored on his debut. And he makes the game. I love Xerxes because when he plays, I don't know whether anybody notices this. We look like the Harlem Globetrotters up front when Xerxes.
Oh yeah, because the way he stretches himself.
The ball, it plays sexy football. You know, he doesn't have as much time as he used to do when he was playing in the other league, but he actually makes the game.
I like that sexy football. He wears his socks up to his thigh.
Yes. He makes very beautiful short passes. He enters small positions, and he makes us look exciting up front. Højlund is more direct, but he doesn't make the game as exciting as Xerxes.
But I do think that Højlund is faster too. Xerxes, early on in the season, he was a little bit slow, partly due to he's slow, but also he had injuries. But he has
Xerxes
good positioning.
Cannot flourish in the Man United side as it is now. He's going to
this was the League Cup game that Man U played against Leicester on Wednesday. This was Nistelrooy's first team. So I expect him to use this team again, with the exception of the backup keeper. Onana, I expect Onana to come in. But there was something very smart he did. Instead of playing Eriksen in midfield, he used 2 CDMs, Casemiro and Ugarte. And with that, the security of the defense was done by Ugarte, and Casemiro could move forward more. And he was able to
That's nice.
Yeah, Casemiro plays as an 8.
Casemiro actually scored twice. Casemiro actually scored 2 goals. So he gave him the license to move forward, and Ugarte stayed back to cover the defense. And then Bruno was doing
it's common sense.
Yes. But if you look at
I think that if Casemiro comes off, he'll replace Casemiro with Eriksen. Ugarte should be the person that stays on as the permanent 6. I think Casemiro can't play 6 anymore.
And I think also
for at this level.
And I think also we'll drop Xerxes for Højlund for that Chelsea game. I think so, because he played Xerxes up front against Leicester on Wednesday. But I don't know. But it looks like this would be the team to play Chelsea on Sunday, really.
Yeah, I like Xerxes up front. I like him up front.
My only issue with this team is that Ahmad is a better right winger than Rashford. Rashford and Garnacho are excellent left wingers.
I agree.
But it's like the problem that England had with playing Lampard and Gerrard. They're both playing in the same position. They're getting in each other's way. You play one or the other. And it's the same thing for this team. Ahmad is a better right winger than Rashford. Rashford is not a right winger. He's not as good on the right wing as Rashford. So that apart from that little issue and the issue of a missing left back, we're not that far away. But those two little weaknesses can cause you to drop a lot of points and change your entire history.
Yeah.
So I think
most of the good teams have a natural left back. Is one area where I think we've been very weak.
All of the good teams have a natural left back and a natural right back.
And you also have a weakness on the left side on defense.
Four.
You have
if you want to be in the top four, you have to have that.
And also you have a problem on the left, or is it on the right on defense?
Left. We're having to play Martinez. We're having to play
so that's a big problem. And once both of those situations are dealt with, they'll be just as good as any of the top 6 teams in the league. Yeah. That's what I think.
We need a proper left back. Malacia is just he's a left back, but he's like a band-aid. He's like a plaster on the left. He's not like an outstanding
temporary
measure.
Yeah.
We need proper left back. Proper left back. And the way that this guy plays, he plays 3-4-3. He plays 3 defenders, then he'll play 1 central defender in front, and then he plays 2 wing backs. He play 1 CDM, and then 2 number 10s, and then a striker and 2 forwards. So the way that, and he's always played like this. Amorim always plays with 3 centre backs. Man United has never played with 3 centre backs. We either play a 4-4-2 or a 4-3-3 or a 4-2-1-3. Yeah, but we've always played with a back 4. This is going to be the first time in history we're going to play 3 centre backs. But everyone is thinking he's going to play Mazraoui as the 3rd centre back on the wing, which is quite unfortunate because we have 6 centre backs.
If Euro comes back,
hold on, guys. Guess what formation Nigeria uses for football? 4-1-9. Sorry, that was a good joke, though.
But Kule, I feel this might be an opportunity for Lenny Euro. He could actually be one of those centre backs. He could
remember we did a post about Euro.
He has started ball work on the grass. He has left the gym. So we're expecting him back.
Euro is 6'3". He's a tall guy. He's good with.
I don't think he'll be fit to. Will he be fit to play any games for Van Nistelrooy? Van Nistelrooy doesn't know anything about him either.
No, he has to wait
because he's new.
But they need to use him. Also, I heard that Obi Martin scored 3 goals for the under-18 Man U team in their first game.
Under 18. You know. I mean, they don't.
I don't think he's ready. He needs another year before he starts for Man U.
No, but he's that is like a bully for the under-18s. The guy's
but he's not strong enough for professional football.
No,
not quite. He's built like Zlatan, and he's older than Yamal.
But he's still growing. He's still growing.
If you're good enough, you play.
But I've noticed that when he runs, he doesn't have balance yet. He hasn't learned to have physical balance because he's still growing. So I think he needs.
Let me be honest. I've never seen him play. I haven't seen him play.
I've seen him play, but he's lanky. He's very lanky. So he needs to get some more muscle. Yeah. What do you think?
He's like a Zlatan.
He's like Kanu Nwankwo.
He's like Kanu. He's very lanky. Yeah.
Like Kanu.
But he's got a bit more pace and power than Kanu. I've been told he's a bit more Zlatan-like.
Yeah, he just needs to work on his
more Zlatan than Kanu.
I just think he needs to work on his coordination. He needs to work on his coordination.
Sure.
So what? Yeah. Hey, so what are your thoughts on Chelsea versus Man U? We're gonna leave in about 5 minutes because I'm watching Formula One.
Okay. Well, the match is going to be an interesting one. And Chelsea, they should be in for a different game because Van Nistelrooy is a new coach, and you know he's a deadly striker, so he will know how to feature these guys. Maybe he might come in with a different idea, different format, and a different kind of player. But I think I'll still give the match to Chelsea because Chelsea, they have some good players up front like Palmer, Neto, some other. Then in the midfield, they have some good midfielders. But for what's it called for Man U, if I'm Van Nistelrooy, I wouldn't use some of these what's it called? This guy they bought from what's it called now? From Real Madrid. Why? Because Chelsea players they are pacey, they have the pace. So if only what's it called, Van Nistelrooy can get it right, I think it would be nice for them.
That's why I said Falabi said they'll move what's the guy's name to central midfield, the defender, the one from Argentina.
Martinez.
No,
Martinez is
Casemiro.
I
They're going to move him to
noticed this back
midfield.
four line. This back four
Casemiro.
line excludes
They'll move Casemiro to central midfield or defensive midfield, yeah, so that he's not exploited at the back. Yeah. What do you think? Is that right, Afolabi? Yeah.
Yes.
Why do we have Mazraoui? Why do you have Lindelof starting ahead of Mazraoui? That doesn't make sense. Is Mazraoui injured?
I think they're saving him. You know, he has plastic legs. I think they're saving him for the Chelsea game. That's why they didn't play him against Leicester. I don't think he's injured.
Yeah, because I know Mazraoui is highly rated, and everyone is thinking that they might even play him as a third centre back on the left or on the right instead of another centre.
I think he'll start against Chelsea.
Very highly rated.
I think he'll start against.
Yes, I think so. I don't think that Lindelof will start ahead of him. Okay. I think it's also possible that even though this chap plays 3-4-3, he might just play a back four because he's coming into his first game. I think his first game is going to be against Ipswich.
Yes, Ipswich Town.
He should destroy them. Ooh. I mean, he should start off with a win.
Who's that?
Still got 3 games. That's Amorim. He's not his first game.
Okay.
He's not going to play against Chelsea.
You know what I believe? I believe that the second half of the season, Man U will do well once they settle down. Yeah,
we always do well in the second half of the season. We're always rubbish in the first half. We're the opposite of Arsenal. Arsenal start off well and finish badly. Man United start off badly and finish well.
Speaking of which, let's go to Warif. I know it's not always Arsenal's fault, but the last 3 or 4 games they keep having red cards and it's affecting them.
You know why? Once with Arsenal players, they lack maturity mentally. Yeah. If you watch all the red cards, it's not something that is like a serious foul. It's just some silly kind of play that gives them that.
And the referees take advantage of it and take it against them.
Yes, the referee, they take advantage of it. So if they can, and again, if you watch that red card that they was given to Saliba, I think last weekend, 2 other players, they did same, and they were giving yellow cards, not red even. So I don't know why.
Yeah, but they won't give Haaland red card for throwing the football at somebody.
Arsenal don't have depth. That's their problem. Lose 2 players and they're out to the chase.
That's violent conduct. They would have given him red
card. I like Manchester City, but what Haaland did was very, very wrong.
Yeah, that's violent conduct.
He showed his true colors.
It's not that.
Arsenal don't have depth. Once they lose 1 or 2 players, they're out of it. Like they did well last season because they didn't have any injuries. They have 2 injuries, one injury and that's it. Their season is gone. So they need.
Yeah, they don't have depth. They don't have depth.
Yes, they need depth. But then again, I think Arteta is always reluctant not to play starting 11. He doesn't like to play starting 11, and he's making people like Saka play so many games. It's affecting the team chemistry. And then when there's one,
keep on using the same players.
It upsets them.
Yeah, he doesn't like taking risks. And also, this guy was like
your
that.
Squad.
Also.
You need to bring youth players in. You need to test
your new Wenger was the same way.
You don't do that.
Like Waneri scored a very fantastic goal on Wednesday against Preston in the Carabao Cup. So that guy should be given more time to play, to develop him. We have some good players, can bring them from the under-23. Look at what's it called, Saka.
In the Premier League game,
yes, if not for Naimire, nobody would have known Saka. So sometimes until you give these players this chance, you wouldn't know how good they are. They are also footballers. But when you continue using the same players, it's very easy for your opponent to master your tactics, and the players, they get fatigued. Any slightest thing, injury will set it. It's just like using your car,
It's just like Lookman. He's very lucky that Atlanta lets him pay. Or else we won't even know him. One of the top 15 players in the world. You get my point? You have to let these guys express themselves. Yeah.
All
right, so we're gonna end soon, but we're gonna end with the 3 of you. So let's start with Warif. Last thoughts on Chelsea versus Man U. Yeah.
I'll give the mic to Chelsea 2-1.
2-1. Yeah. Okay. Very good. What are your thoughts on the game in general, Kule? Yeah.
It's gonna be 2-2. It's gonna be a draw. I think it'd be a draw. I think that Chelsea are not quite there, and we're not quite there, and it's gonna be a draw. 2-2.
2-2, yeah. But I think, like I said, I think Man U just needs to be patient. I think by the second half of the season they'll do well, but they need to build upon next year also. What are your thoughts?
They need to buy a left back if they're going to do well, or they're going to be screwed.
And like you said, they also need a left winger too. Yeah,
they need a left back.
What are your thoughts, Afolabi? Yeah.
Well, yes, I think it will end in a draw. because historically Chelsea, they usually beat Man U, but not at Old Trafford. So I expect the fans to get behind Van Nistelrooy's team, and I expect everybody to fight. But I don't see Man U losing that game.
Yeah. Okay, guys. So very good show. We'll be back on Monday to start highlighting the Champions League next week. Take us out, Afolabi. Thank you, guys. Brilliant show, everybody. Beautiful show. Thank you.
Okay, super. Man U Chelsea. It's been wonderful discussing football again with Mustafa, Warif, and Kunle. You guys have a wonderful evening, and it's bye for now.
Good night, you guys. Enjoy Friday
with Chelsea wearing a Chelsea shirt because there's not enough drama. There's only Man United and Arsenal wearing their colors.